Good morning, this is your 8:15 daily operations weather briefing, starting off with plenty of sun this morning with also some mild conditions out there, and overall expecting to move into a few days of some above average temperatures, very mild conditions with some slightly breezy conditions picking up uh, over the next few days as well. Not looking at any precipitation chance over the next days until we get to Friday, when we'll have a boundary pushing through the area. But overall, that trend has been towards a drier solution, so that looks like a very low end chance of seeing any precipitation on Friday as well. So continuing with dry, fairly quiet, and mild weather. If we take a look at the current surface analysis, high pressure still in control over much of the eastern part of the country. We're going to start to see that move eastward and break down a bit, bringing those southerly winds, bringing a little bit of moisture back into the area and keeping those conditions mild. We see to the west some tightening of the pressure lines there, indicating that tight pressure gradient. That's going to bring those slightly breezy to breezy conditions over the coming days ahead of that front that will eventually make its way through the area Friday afternoon into the evening. Looks to be a fairly weak front, just going to bring some drier conditions and slightly cooler conditions, and not expecting much again in the way of precipitation with that. So if we look at our current conditions this morning, just a few clouds at 3,000, 15,000, and 25,000 feet. Winds out of southwest at 4 knots, temperature at 60 degrees, and our relative humidity is at 96%. Looking at the current visible satellite as the sun rises here, see just those low clouds mainly to our south and just a few high clouds and mid-level clouds kind of peppered around the area. But again, plenty of sun this morning and expecting overall plenty of sun as we move through the day. Today, just seeing some high clouds around the area, fairly thin, and we'll see that continue through the overnight as well. If we take a look at the European model, we'll see dry conditions, high pressure and control moving through the day today. We'll see some slightly breezy conditions today, but overall should stay below that wind advisory criteria for today. And then dry conditions and mild conditions continue through the evening, and another even warmer day for our Thursday. And slightly breezier on Thursday. We will see a chance of a wind advisory for Thursday, but still continuing with dry conditions and staying fairly or slightly breezy through the overnight hours Thursday night into early Friday morning. And then Friday will be what looks to be the breeziest day ahead of this front. Again, mainly dry conditions. The European model here is actually the wettest model with this boundary pushing through, and even that has trended fairly light with the precipitation as we get into the afternoon. As you can see here, just some peppered light rain showers around the region as it pushes through. So looking at a slight chance of an isolated shower, and will be a fairly light shower with little in the way of accumulation. So continuing with those dry conditions over the local area. And then behind that, we see high pressure building back in and continued dry and slightly cooler conditions, but still fairly mild and comfortable. So if we look at our 24-hour weather risk chart for today, green conditions across the board today. We'll see our high temperature around 76 degrees, well above average for this time of year. And the main thing that will be going along will be that southwesterly wind, 9 to 14 knots, peaking around 21 knots with those gusts this afternoon. And then we'll see those winds dying down, but still keeping a slight breeze out of the southwest at 7 to 12 knots through the morning hours. Our low temperature bottoms out around 60 degrees, which is well above average for this time of year. And again, quiet conditions with just some breezy conditions through the day today. Cloud cover, just expecting, again, as mentioned, just some high clouds pushing through the area and a few low clouds around the area at time, possibly seeing a scatter deck around 3,000 to 4,000 feet. But overall, just seeing mainly high clouds and plenty of sun around the area. Tides are running slightly below normal at this time. Next couple of days, mostly sunny, partly cloudy for our Thursday. Another mild day with a high of 77. We'll see some slightly breezy conditions and looking at a yellow risk for those winds about 25 knots, as we will see a chance of that wind advisory. Chance that wind advisory does continue into the evening, so we keep that yellow risk through Thursday night, where we'll see partly cloudy skies and slightly breezy conditions continue. And again, unseasonably warm with a low of 62. And then Friday, we'll see partly to mostly cloudy conditions at times. Another mild day ahead of the front with a high of 76. breezier conditions for Friday, looking at an orange risk for those winds at or above 25 knots, so a better chance of seeing a wind advisory for our Friday. And then a yellow risk for that precip with that slight chance of a isolated afternoon or evening light shower pushing through the area. And that's going to wrap up the 8:15 daily operations weather briefing. We'll be back again at 10 a.m. to take a look at the extended forecast. Enjoy your morning.